Well. Hello, everybody. Hi, what happened? Hi, everybody. Listen, we are here again. We are here again. It is midweek. So it is Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday. Right? Because it's always buy one, get one free up in here. Yes, indeed. The reason why we say it is buy one, get one free, it is because I could be in one day and somebody else is in another day in a different country because we are all in different time zone and this is a global platform. Absolutely, it is a global platform. So when we come on up in here, we come on up in here with different languages and different time zone and different kind of vibes. It could be morning, noon, or night. Well, not noon. It could be morning, night, or evening. I don't believe there's noon anywhere right about now, but it's noon. Hey, the whole point is that we come on up in here and we share love because one thing we have in common is loving on each other. Yes, indeed, we believe in love on this side. We share some love, we dish out some love, we receive love. It is all about loving up here, loving and supporting. So this is the Question Light Show with your host, the one and only Verona Willis-Brown. That is me. Yep, that's more. It is I, okay, your host. For the past 11 seasons, I've been your host of this lovely show. This is a space that was created just with you in mind. For you to come on in here with your work in progress, your book, your story, all that you have, that go to give God some glory. So whatever it is, bring it on up in here. So what we could work together. When we work together, we will have a better world. When we work together, we will replenish the earth with the intention, with the purpose of why God created us. That is the reason why that God chose to wake us up. It chose to, yeah, it is a choice. It chose to wake us up so we can continue to replenish the earth. And not only replenish the earth, but we got to be fruitful and multiply. When we are fruitful and multiply, we will increase and value of what we are laying down, whether it is a brick, a stone, or even a tree. Whatever the case is, we must be fruitful and multiply. We hear this before. Be fruitful and multiply, but let me tell you something. It's not only about what happened. It's not only about having a physical child. It's about you giving birth to your purpose, your gifts, your talents, and your vision, your dreams. Use them up to replenish the earth. That's why we are here to multiply with my gift and yours, and we put them together and we replenish the earth. When we replenish the earth, we are replenishing the earth to till the ground and make the path a little bit easier for those who are coming behind us. We should not be here and not making the path easy for somebody else. Why? Somebody paved the way for us. Yes, indeed. While somebody paved the way for us, why should we not do the same for somebody else? Our responsibility is to pave the way for somebody else. So when they come trailing on this journey, they must know that, hey, if somebody was here and I'm going a little bit easy, we don't just let them sit back and twiddle their thumbs on their devices, but we just give them a little more ease on what they got to do. Hello, somebody. I talk about this all the time, and I'm not going to stop talking about it. I talk about it that people who paved the way, I give gratitude to. I am so grateful for people who paved the way for me to come up in here to sit as your host. People like Oprah Winfrey, people like Sherry Shepherd, people like Ellen, people like Sally Raphael, people like Phil O'Donnell. You. These are people who paved the way. I talk about Oprah all the time. Why? Because I watch Oprah throughout the years. throughout the years. And one thing I wanted to know, and one thing I wanted to do was to figure out how she got over there. I didn't want to be like Oprah. Nobody should not want to be like the next person. But I watch Oprah on the screen. I'm like, oh my goodness, who is this lady? Oh my God, she's so captivating. And how did she get on that screen over there, waving, talking to people in her audience, and all this good stuff? Who is this lady? And then I watched her and I learned a thing or two. So I want to always say thank you to Oprah. Yes, indeed, she was the first person I saw on that TV. I'm like, oh yeah, Oprah, how you got there, right? So yes, indeed, I want to thank you so much. Oh, why my thing looks so? Give me a second. Hope y'all could hear me. So I just want to say thank you to Oprah publicly again, and again. Listen up again. This is the Question Live Show. We've been running this show for the past 344 episodes. Well, today's 45. Praise the Lord. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy when I started. It wasn't easy. I'll tell you a little bit more about that as I go along. But if this is your first time, I mean, absolutely your first time showing up on this space, simply mean on this platform, the Are You Free Enough platform, because the show is brought to you by Are You Free Enough. So if this is your first time showing up, first time hearing about the Christian Life, of course, first time hearing about Verona Willis-Brown, and there I want to say welcome to you. So I ask you nicely, put your name in the comment section and let me know that it is your first time. Put your name, wave to me, say me. I will say first time or something to that sort, so I could acknowledge you. Do you know that so many times we go through life and we don't get acknowledged? We get accepted, but there's a difference between acknowledged and accepted. Now, besides, the word is bigger. When we get accepted, simply means somebody see us, and I want to see you. So when you come up in here, wave to me, say hi, so I can tell you that I see you. I want to see you. Okay. And I wanted to come on in and hold a conversation. So first time I want to welcome you. So I like to tell my first timers a little bit about who their host is. Yeah. I am a native of the most beautiful place in the world, Jamaica. That's it. No question. Right? I'm not being biased. I'm just telling the truth. It's just the most beautiful place in the world. Okay? And I like to talk about that. I am from a farmer's background. My parents were dedicated, committed farmers. So I usually talk about my parents. Why? Because couple things. I am carrying my parents' legacy. I got chosen for the task. Oh my goodness. God bless me. I'm carrying my parents' legacy. That's number one. And number two, the reason why I like to talk about they being farmers, they were farmers, great farmers, and the contribution to the community is because I oftentimes use the analogy of planting on fertile ground and watch it spring up into something beautiful. Some form of reproduction took place. And guess what? If they plant something that needed a tree, the tree grow up sturdy and start bearing fruit. Mhm. But what of the evidence that they planted a seed and that seed bearing fruits is right here. Moi, I am a seed. I am a product of my parents' fertilization. Woohoo! And there, I know I'm bearing seed, bearing fruits in the manner, in the concept, in the way of being your host and other things. Yeah, if you've been here, you know the other position that I fell into, okay, and still in. Yeah, there are other positions, but right now we want to focus on me being your host. So if you've been here, yeah. But this is just for the newbie people. So for newbie people, one more thing. I came from a huge family. When I say huge, I mean I'm talking about huge, yes, huge family. So when you come on in here, you're coming on in here as a new baby. I like to welcome the new babies in here because the new baby come on in here and they get special treatment. Yes, indeed. The new babies come on in, they get special treatment. And when they get special treatment, you get all the attention. I get excited when there's a baby. So yes, indeed, as we go further, I'll let you know that babies are my heartbeat. I love babies. If you tell me that you're pregnant, I get excited. If there's a baby around me, I get excited. I love baby because baby is just a serious evidence that God is the producer of life. And when there's a little seed, ding, and all of a sudden you're a human being, voila, excuse me. Come on in here. Let me tell you about the goodness of God. So with that said, welcome to the newbies. No, if this is not your first time, simply mean that you've been here second, third, fourth, fifth, anytime after the first. You are a returning audience. And if you are a returning audience, I want to welcome you. So whether it is a morning, noon, or night, whatever time of the day is, welcome back to another lively session of the Question Live Show. Now you know the deal that when you show up, I show up, and we just show up together. When we show up together, what happens? We ignite each other and we create a whole galaxy of greatness. Why would I say that? Because greatness lies within us. And we here on the Question Live Show, we operate from the inside out. And because greatness is on our DNA, we go in and we ignite them and we drag them out and we work together. Because the more we work together, it is the stronger we will be. Just like a magnet going toward a metal, whoop, we join force. We pray and ask God, send the people that we need to connect with, and we will work together. Let us align ourselves in the position so that when God says, hello, I would like for you to connect with this one, you're ready. Okay. So the thing is, whether you are new or whether you are returning, the point of the matter here on this show is that we are all on a journey called life. Absolutely, we are all on a journey called life. And because we are all on this journey called life, we are going to cross paths somewhere. Doesn't matter wherever you are, whether you're on the phone, whether you're on the street, you are going to cross paths with someone. I encourage you to make an impact when you meet someone. Cause a positive impact. You never know why you cross paths with this person until maybe you hold a conversation. Good morning. Give a smile. Hi, how you doing? Give a compliment. You never know. Now, the reason why it is important that when we cross paths, we make a positive impact is because on this journey called life, there is an end. And we all want to get there. And it's called success. Everybody wants to have a success story. Whether you're just born today, you're born with the intention to have a success story. Whether you're born 50 years ago, you had an intention to be successful. Whether you're 100, and we're going to give a big shout out to somebody that's turned 100 in here, right? Everybody want to be successful. Success is defined by you. It is an individual thing. Everybody defines success differently. But guess what? It doesn't matter how you define success. The point is, we need to work together. You can be successful without me. I can be successful without you. Whether you get that direct, whether you get it collectively. Whether you are the prime minister, the president, the vice president, the governor, the mayor, the teacher, the student, the doctor, whoever you are, let me tell you something. You did not get there by yourself. Whether you consider yourself as a celebrity, you did not get there by yourself. Whether you consider yourself as a star, you did not get there by yourself. Whether you're trying to achieve, you're working towards achieving a position, you can get there by yourself. So let us get this concept today and be conscious in our mentality that we need each other. It is just factual that the more we work together consciously, mindfully, we will achieve more. Let us not just trail with one set mindset like this. Let us pick up the value of working together. It is so important that we get this concept, right? So let us get this together that it is important. Okay, good. Listen to me, listen to me. On this show, we like to use F word. Yep, that's what I said. Now, if you are here and you're watching this and you don't use that F word, the door is right there. You can go back through the door because here we do. We use it very fluidly. Okay, we use it very confidently. We use F word. Well, actually, I personally use three. I use three F words up in here. Whichever one you believe it is, then that's up to you. If you don't want to hear them again, that door is right there. But let me go over them really, really quick and let you know my F word. First one is faith. Yes, indeed, I believe in faith. So I either say it or apply. Faith is a substance of things that you can't see, but you believe that it's there, or you believe that it's going to happen. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I activate up that little faith box and say, guess what? I'm coming on the show. My first episode, I was a shaky with our faith. I started this on shaky grounds. Yes, indeed. My faith was shaky when I started the very first episode of this. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? But then I remember my intention. I remember my dream. I remember my goals. And voila, here I am. 345 episodes because God said, girl, you better get out there. And I'm like, I trust God. You see, when you have faith, you trust a thing. When you have faith in the chair, you sit down, you trust the chair. When you have faith in the pilot that fly the plane, you trust the pilot. When you have faith in somebody feeding you outside in the restaurant, you trust that person. So I trusted God. And guess what? God's like, girl, you trust me? Uh-huh. Let's go. So now I've got the 345 episode. Hello, somebody. And that's what I like to use. I like to use the word family, family, family. Yes, indeed. You have mentioned before that my family, I came from a huge family. Yes, I is. And yes, I am from a huge family. But one thing I want to tell you that I do have the permission to talk about my family like nobody's business. Yes, I do. I have the permission. So whether they're listening or not, if you want to call them and tell them, if you want to share this with them, go ahead. I have the permission because guess what? At the end of the day, I was let me just say I'm like the Google of my family. Or back then I would say I was the encyclopedia. Anybody know about that? Well, no. If you don't know about that, you see, that's a big word, that's a big word. But right now it's Google, Dr. Google. I am that Google of the family. Okay. So you say Eller, I said, right? So I'm like the Google. So I'm entitled to talk about, I do have the permission to talk about my family. First thing I want to tell you about my family, we have a birthday every month. Absolutely. We have a birthday every single month, literally from January 1st all the way to December. Yep, we do. And not only we have birthday every year, we have graduation. Whether you're graduating from pre-K, babysitter, university, we do have graduation. So we have all sort of profession up in my family. Yes, indeed. And then sometimes we got babies often too. Yeah, we produce a lot in my family. Yes, indeed, we produce in different areas, including physical babies. Yeah. Man, not maybe. No, not. I don't think every year, but maybe every year somebody is something like that. Okay. Beside the point. Beside the point, we are just fruitful and multiplying in different areas. So yes. So I talk about my family. So let me tell you something. We get together and it's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my family. But anywho, let me take you to the next F word, which is fun. We like to have fun up in here. Yes. Don't come up in here and just bite on your nails or come up in here and scratch your head or don't come up in here and just sit there. Don't grab no seat, no we and just sit there or just don't be by the door looking over that or don't be by the window just staring in. Come on up in here and interact with us because we like to have fun up in here. Yes, indeed. So we like to celebrate. When we celebrate, it is a form of support. And I strongly believe in support because support will lead you into your success story. And your success story, honey, it might just be something that somebody's waiting for out of your success story. So let us get in there and know that it might just be some solution. Uh-huh. But listen up, come on. Listen up. Because we like to have a lot of fun in here, we celebrate a lot. So whether it is your birthday, your anniversary, your boo's birthday, your children's birthday, your neighbor's anniversary, your sibling's birthday, whoever it is, we like to celebrate. Now, if you found out you're having a baby, we would like to celebrate that. If you had a baby, we like to celebrate that too. You got proposed to, you got married. Hello, we would like to celebrate that. Your friend got married, we would like to celebrate that as well. Hello, somebody. Maybe your friend developed themselves a little bit more. You celebrated them. We want to celebrate you. Whether you celebrate yourself a little bit more, we would like to celebrate you as well. You wrote a book. Wrote a book. You made the first step into towards writing your story. We would like to celebrate you. Celebrate you. Is it here? We like to celebrate small wins and big wins. So whichever win you have is about the win. So whatever it is, more. I'm here to say, come on up in here, jot it in the comment section, and so I can celebrate you. Now, let me tell you something. I'm not here by myself celebrating. I do have a cheerleading squad. So we come on up in here and we cheer for you. Right? When we cheer for somebody, it literally inspires them. It literally ignites them. So let us get into the habit of cheering for people. First person you're supposed to cheer for, self. It's a part of self-love and it's a part of self-care. You didn't know that? No, you know. Let's get into it. Okay? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Why my thing look like that? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let me see who's the artist. I want to know if you are hearing me. Can you hear me? I am clear. I want to make sure that you're hearing me. So yes, indeed. So let's talk about it. So tonight we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about the village people, the village cooking, and all the goodness about the village. So yes, indeed, if you are just tuning in, come on in the room. Come on in the room if you're familiar with the village people. Come on in the room and say, me. Come on in this room. Let me tell you something about this show. This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue. So when you come on in here, like I see M. Kelly's right there. M. Kelly saying hi to everybody. Welcome, sweetie. Welcome. Namaste. Namaste. Come on in this room. So when you come on in here, please talk to us. Do not come in here and just like trill it up. It's like coming to somebody's house and you just sit there by the door and you just not say nothing. Right? We don't want you to just come on in here and just like, no. We don't want you to come on in here and just staring and just circulating your eyes around. We want you to talk to us because this is a dialogue. And because this is a dialogue, we want you to talk to us. Okay? Because if you don't talk to me, I don't know if you're listening, if you're there, if my channel is working properly. Can you hear me? If I say, can you hear me? How would I know that you hear me if you don't answer me? Can you hear me? Put yes or no. Then I know that I need to make some form of adjustment. But if you don't talk to me, but you just come on in here peeping in like a peeping Tom, I don't accept that kind of behavior over here. I don't like peeping Tom mentality. It is rude. It is saying that you just want to come on in, peep and go. We don't do that over here. We are a family. So it is nice for you to come on in the room. Okay? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let me tell you, we drop juicy contents over here and golden nuggets. So every time you see we drop one, pick it up and go. Whether you got to take a screenshot, write it down, whatever the case is, you have the permission to do so. We are here to grow together. We are students and teachers at the same time. So when we teach, we learn. When we learn, we teach. We hear this before that knowledge is power. But let me tell you, I beg to differ. Knowledge is not power unless we apply it or share it. So let me tell you something. Let's join forces together so we can be powerful when we show up. I am not here to impress nobody. Absolutely not. I am here to impact at least one life. I am here to inspire at least one person. So when I come on up in here, I'm coming up in here with an intention to inspire and impact, empower, and support you. Now, oftentimes you're going to hear me go all the way in this show, and I'm going to be talking about myself. Yes, I do talk about myself. Sometimes I start bragging, but I have the permission to brag. I brag about my blessing. So, yes, indeed, if I don't brag about my blessing, who's going to do it? I brag and I talk about me at most times. So when I say, come on in here and I talk about me in such a way with humility. I talk about me growing up as a farmer's child. I talk about me growing up on the farm. I talk about me going to school in the lovely mountains of Jamaica. I talk about me, yes, coming from St. Andrew, Jamaica, where I have to go up and down the mountain. I talk about me. I relate my story to most of the time to the topic or to the content. So, yes, indeed. So, let's jump right into it and talk about the village people. Who knows the village people? I am doing great. Kaylee, I am doing great. Good morning. Because I know it is good morning for you right about now. You're just waking up, or you're getting ready to go to work, or you're getting up to just be here. Because if you're just waking up, Kaylee, just to say I'm supporting my sister, I love and appreciate you very, very much. Okay? So listen up, and we talk about the village people. Often that we hear the village people, we talk about, oh, somebody in a different country. Oh, they live in the village and they're like the poorest of the people, or they're the one living in poverty, or they're the one that just like don't have, they're the ones suffering the most, or they're just impoverished, right? And we talk about the village people. They're not out to civilization and all these stuff. But how many of you know that the village people don't have to be the one on the bottom? The village people could be the one on the top. Why? Because God created each and every one of us to be prosper, to have hope, to have a good future, to have good health, and all those good stuff. So listen to me. Village people are not always the one that's on the bottom. If we want to talk about the village people, in some country, you say you from the village. I think it's one of the most beautiful place when you're from a country and you say that you're from the village. I can relate. I am from, we call it the little country area, or in America or other places around the world, they would say the suburb. Uh-huh. The suburb. I came from the suburb. Okay. The village is the suburb. Okay. So let's consider this. Is that you're in the top, the city or suburb? Two places, city, suburb. There's no in between, the city or suburb. I came from the suburb area. It's called a village, okay? But in Jamaica, we don't say village because village simply mean like you like in somewhere, in some other place, right? But when we talk about the village, let's talk about this. We hear this before. It takes a village to raise a child. Were they talking about just one specific place? No, no. A village, in the sense, is not one specific place. A village is a community that comes together. That community comes together and they work together. They produce together, they share together, they serve together, they raise together. Let me tell you something. You think I'm joking? I came from the village, okay? Mhm. So anybody from the village, just put at me. If you can relate, put me. So I know that I'm not by myself. If you came from the village, don't be ashamed of the village. The village is a community, okay? The village is a community, and it's a community where we had where that fed us. It's a community that fed us into being right now. So whether you're watching me on live or on replay, you got fed so you can be here. You got nourished so you can be here right now to watch me. So if you telling me that you came from the village, I'm like, yeah, me too. I love it. Well, anybody who knows me and knows me well, or somewhat, or if you've been watching this show from so many episodes back, I talk about this all the time that I love to travel. Absolutely. I love, love, love to travel. So whether I travel outside or whether I travel virtually, I love to travel. So when I travel virtually, I'm looking for places like, oh my God, like where, what, who. Oh, you from the village? If I interview somebody, you from the village? I love to come to your village. I'm talking to somebody in the village. I'm like, yes, I could feel the presence of the village because there's a sense of humility when you are from the village. Believe me, I know. I've traveled and I've seen it. I've experienced it. Well, I look like I got a 10. But anyway, I travel. I've experienced it. I've seen it. I was bred from it. Okay, I am from that ground. It's a fertile ground. It's a humility ground. So I watch it. So when we hear, it takes a village to raise a child, it's not just a space. It is the people in there, right? So you're in the village, and there would be maybe your mama don't have some salt, your mama don't have so enough sugar. I told you I'm from a huge family, so sometimes my mother like go to the neighbor, get a spoonful of sugar, go to the neighbor and get a pinch of salt, or maybe get some flour, some sugar, some bag of a cup of rice or something. Yeah, we did that. Neighbor come like, hey, can I get a spoonful of sugar? Can I get a toilet paper? Can I get, what I'm saying? Can I get something, please? And then, so we went back and forth. That was the village. We went back and forth. My parents, my household accommodate other children. Uh, so there were other households that like, hey, we go to your house, you come to our house. But my house was like the community house, right? So we had this community inside of us. We had this village mentality of humility, but to serve. So, yep, I told you I carry my parents' legacy. So we believe in serving. We will believe in serving with humility. So tonight we are going to talk about Today we're going to talk about ways the village people served us. We're going to talk about the village cooking because let's talk about it as a gumbo, like a pot. You think about a pot, oh my God, like a gumbo. A gumbo simply means we had a thing in Jamaica where it's like a one pot, right? It's a one pot cooking. And that simply means you're putting everything in this one pot. This one big pot and everything dropping down in there, honey. You're putting things up in there, you're like, whoa. So that doesn't mean you're gonna have a pot. You're gonna get your little bowl, but you're gonna have some food going on up in there. Because at the end of the day, making one pot of rice might not be enough. But when you have that big pot, you're gonna hold some of food. So we had a one pot meal. And let me tell you something, you're gonna eat, you're gonna get that food. But let me tell you, come, let me tell you. I told you I could talk about my family. I could talk about my family. Sometimes you get a one pot meal, honey, and the serving is this little, because there are a lot of us, right? The serving is this little, and you're like, golly, golly. Mm. Can I get a piece more of your dumpling? Right? So you get to share with yourself, like, oh my goodness. But there were ways that my mama used to that to let us know that we had a lot of food. She had a strategic way of how to do things. So I learned to be a strategic way of how to get around things. My mama was an entrepreneur. I talked about this before. Yeah, ever heard me say this? That my mama was an entrepreneur and she didn't even know the word. Listen, I didn't even know how to pronounce the word. I just learned how to pronounce this word like recently, right? She was, a solid entrepreneur, and my parents, yeah, part of them were entrepreneur, but they didn't know that big word. They never used that big word. They didn't even know nothing about business owner. They, they just know that they were on the farm taking care of their family and contributing to the community. So right now, if I go back to my community, I have a name to carry. I'm literally carrying the whole name back in the community, like, oh, hi, we know you. You get respect. So let's talk about what we are going to serve in this pot in the village cooking. Ooh, food, food, food. I'm a foodie, so yes, I get excited about food. So let's talk about the things that we are going to serve in this pot called the village cooking. The village people come on up in here and we serve some good food. The last time I went to a village, I won't tell you where I went. I went to a village, and boy, oh boy, they served me. Okay, they served me. Oh my God, I came back. I was like a little puff doll coming back. I was like a little blow up doll coming back. Oh, before we go into the serving, we talk about birthdays. I want to give a shout out. Big no, we will not go any further until we give a shout out to this birthday. Let's put it right here. We want to give a shout out to our former president. Our former President Carter turned 100 Centurion. Hello, somebody, a whole century gone. Sir, let me tell you something. I talk about my faith and let's talk about God. This man has faith. His faith said, you not taking me out here. Nobody take me out of here until God says it's time for me to go. That's when I go. When they thought that man was going to believe in us, that man was like, God said not so. I'm still here. He turned 100, darling. 100. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Listen, it is a blessing when you get to even half a century, baby. And he made it to a century. We say, sir, salute to you and your 100. You are a century. You got stories to tell. I know, let me tell you, if your family not making use of this 100 chapters, baby, they're losing out. Because God don't just keep us, okay? God chose to keep this man for 100 years. Come on, somebody. Listen. Mr. President, we say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yes, sir. Wherever you smile, if you're getting emotional, then go ahead. If you're getting laughed, whatever the case is, activate your emotion, Mr. President, because God kept you this long in this full chapter for a reason. Anybody not making use of this, then guess what? I don't know what to tell you. So we want to say happy birthday again to our former Mr. President Carter. Yes, sir. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yes. So good. No, we got that out of the way. I meant to wish the former president a happy birthday. Oh, dear me. When we talk about that's what we do up in here. We have fun up in here. We celebrate up in here. We're like, hello, is it your birthday too? Come on in here. We had an audience member and it was her birthday a couple of days ago. Yeah, but I don't see her come on so much. But it was her birthday. So shout out to all the birthday people up in my family, in the audience around the world, including our former president of the United States of America. Yep, indeed, former president of the United States of America, Mr. President. We say happy birthday to you. So yes, indeed. So now let's jump back. Let's resume our position as we continue to talk about the village people. So as I was saying that I went to a village of recent, and when I went to a Mr. Jimmy Carter, we got distracted by wishing you love and happiness. May God continue to do what He's doing. May God continue to prolong you as long as God wishes to. May God continue to stay faithful. Let your faith continue to ignite because God did not just take you to be 100 for no reason at all. Okay? Good. Now let's get into why we are going into the village people and we are going to go into their cooking because their cooking is a lick your finger, smack, lick up your finger and go. So we want to talk about what we are going to get served we're going to get served from the village people. When we get served from the village people because I tell you, it takes a village to raise a child. These are the things that they serve more. And believe me, if you are in a village, literal village, and you are not getting served as this, we need to talk. And so what I'm going to share with you are the very things that I was served growing up in the village of Jamaica. Hello? Number one, we were served respect. Get your plate, get your dish, get your spoon, get your fork. We are going to serve you respect. You are going to learn respect from here on. You learn respect at home, you learn respect on the street. When you learn respect at home, it takes you outside to such a degree that, believe me, when you see an elderly person or when you see even a church building, you give such high respect, right? So we learn to have respect. My daddy would say, yes, my dear father. I talk about my mother cooking and all. My mama's cooking was so good. Lord of mercy. Yeah, my mama cooking was so good. Lord of mercy. And she could make up some fried dumpling. My God. Yes, my mama cooking was so good. So I tell you, some village cooking was some good because let me tell you, listen, we're gonna talk about this in a minute. But listen, my mama and my daddy say, if you ain't got respect and manners, you ain't going nowhere. Mm-mm. You're not going nowhere. So it was about respect and manners. You could get degrees, you could be in high position from here until yonder, but if you ain't got no respect and manners, ain't nobody looking at you. You're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. So we were served up that respect, honey. As I tell that we serve respect, some of that I told you, if I go back to my community right now in Jamaica, the respect is given to me. In honor of my parents, the respect is given to me. In honor of me having respect for the community, respect is given to me. So it's not on behalf of my parents only, but on behalf of me practicing, serving, practicing what I was served, respect. I took it out there and I'm like, hey, I got respect for the community. It's back. Okay. So I go, so we serve, they serve us respect. So when we talk about the village people, they serve me because I'm personally going to talk about me right about now. They serve me respect. They serve me how to have integrity. Integrity is simple mean. My daddy told me this. Integrity is simply mean that if for any reason I decide that I want to do anything with my camera off or behind dark doors, behind windows, behind where nobody could see me, behind nobody could hear me either. He said, that which you do in the dark will come out. He said, that which you do in the dark will define what integrity is because when you do something in the dark and you are doing it, it will come to light somehow. So my father is the best man ever. He said it. I said, listen, have integrity that whatever you did, whatever you're doing in the dark, when you show up in the light and the light is beaming on you, it must be a reflection. But make sure that it is good. Make sure that it is good. Make sure that that integrity is something to impact society. Make sure that it's not something that you're doing in the dark. That is something that's bringing down your family name, bringing down the community, bringing down generation to come. Make sure that's not what it is. So whatever is it that you're doing in the dark, make sure that it is serving for generations to come. So my daddy said, have integrity. Daughter, have integrity. So I learned that even when my camera is on, that which I do among myself, it must be a reflection that I want to do when I get outside. I don't want nobody to find out. May the life I live speak for me. I don't want nobody like, oh yeah, she did that in the dog. No, look, and then all the darkness gonna come and overshadow me. No, we seen this happening in the news. We are not. No, let us build up with integrity. So they serve me integrity. One other thing they served was to honor thy mother and thy father. We hear this is a commandment. Honor thy mother and thy father. But they taught me integrity. They taught me to honor. Honor so much. We get to honor our parents. not only our parents, but godparents. Not only that, we get to honor the society that we came out of. We at honor, I told you that we honor even the bishop, the church leader, the political leaders. We get to honor people who are in position, the police, just position, people who are here to protect us. We're here. If you're a president, if you're a prime minister, we were taught you honor these people. We didn't have nowhere we were talking them down. We honor them. Honor, and when we talk about honor, we honor our mother and father that your days may be long. It is the same concept that when you're honoring somebody who is a ruler, who is in a position as a ruler, right? When you're in a position as that, your days will be long. But when we talk about someone who is in a ruler position, who is in a leadership position, when we talk about that person in leadership position, we are we're cutting ourselves short. So we learn how to honor our parents, but we learn to honor others as well. So let us learn to honor ourselves so we can honor others. We might disagree with some things, but in any event, we should honor them. Okay, so you want to honor, you don't want to honor, that's up to you. But I'm telling you what I was served. I was served how to honor others, especially my mother and my father, and those who are in position, from the bishop to the pastor, the minister, police officer, so forth, prime minister, political leaders. Yeah, we had to honor them. Another thing that we had to honor, which is so important, this above all is the whole gumbo, love. We were served love with just, oh my God, abundance of love. We were served love every single waking moment. Our first love that we got served was from God. When God created us, He served us with love. He created us in such a way, in such love. And what God is saying to us, I served you love. Now go and serve love to the others. Whether you're serving in a physical village or you're serving over in another community, whether city or village, it doesn't matter. But the point is, we must have a village mentality. Simply mean that when we have a village mentality, we are the village people of this earth. We must plant these seeds. We must serve with love. We must next, once we serve enough, love covers all. We talk about this all the time. Love covers all. When you get that love, woo, you get that love. When we get that love, we must understand that when we get it, it is not only for us to put in our bosom, put on our back, and let's go. We must learn to serve it to somebody else. So let us understand, serving from the village mentality, being from the village people, it is the next thing I'm going to tell you that we got to serve, humility. The village people, have you ever seen these people that's considered village people? We listen, serve with humility. I learned this, and like I said, I'm putting them right here so you can take them down. What have you ever seen a village family, people in the village? They would give you the best smile. They would give you the best happiness. I used to watch, I told you I came from Jamaica. And when I came to this country, they used to have a lot of these commercials going on where they were talking about African children that didn't have nothing and they were drinking out dirty water and all these things. And but these children, they're like, yeah, we need to help these children and all these things. But these children smile like they were so humble that they smile, their laughter, just like, oh my God, like what I knew. when I'm talking, when I'm saying to you, is to serve with humility. I know what I'm saying. So I used to watch that all the time, like whatever it was, feed the children or something. I think it was like feed the children or whatever the case is. But the point is, when we serve, when we are village people, we are serving with that mentality of humility. They might have one piece of cracker, but that one piece of cracker, they go and serve it for 5 different people. My mama taught me how to serve strategically. Strategically, I learned from my mother that you have this much. If you have this much, we hear this, serve from the overflow, but my mama taught me that you don't have to wait for the overflow to serve. My mother taught me that. So we hear this all the time. Serve from your overflow. Serve from your overflow. Right now we are in season 12 of this show. It is a season of birthing. The entire 2024 is a season of abundance. And we hear this serve from your overflow. But my mother taught me something. And that was not to serve from your overflow, serve from what is given to you. And she taught me a strategic way how to serve from what is given to me. I will not be depleted. And she was never depleted. And I never saw my mother depleted. And I never saw my household being depleted. All I saw was multiplication. I never saw lack, right? And the strategic way that my mother taught me how to serve was to have one thing and you break it in pieces. You break it in pieces. So for those of you who love dumpling, my mother would take that one dumpling and cut it in pieces. It wasn't an overflow. A dumpling is not an overflow. If you look at it, if you are in abundance right now and you see one dumpling, it is not an overflow in your eyes. But in my eyes, that is my overflow. That is my serving. And strategically, you take that one dumpling, you cut it in maybe 5 pieces, and you serve 5 different people. Come on, somebody. Serve 5 different people with that one dumpling. So you don't got to wait for your overflow to serve. Serve from that, and God will give you this. Serve from dumpling, you get 3 more. God will multiply because God says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. So simple meaning, God says it's better to give. So when you give of that, you can never be fully empty because God is going to replenish you sharing from that one dumpling. You got a cup of tea. Sip, you sip. Sip, you sip. So when I used to watch those children suffering, but they had a laughter that's just captivating. That's humility. So I will serve humility. So I came from the ground of the village with humility, and I will continue to serve you in humility. When we put all of this together and we bundle them up in maybe a dough or a soup or a one-pot meal, a gumbo, we must put it together because I don't remember they teaching me to have confidence, but they were showing up. But I tell you what, I learned how to take all of that and build my faith. Because one thing my father said, you serve God, you put God first and keep him there. So I learned to take all my faith and make it into a gumbo, and I serve and I show up with confidence because it's the confidence and my faith that's working together that allow me to come up in here as a member of the village people to serve you. Basically, what we are doing here, we are telling you, do not judge someone from their demographic place to say that they are from the village and they are the lowest. No one should be judged according to where they were born, but they should be going according to how they could help. How is it that you're serving others is what matters. When we serve each other, it is a form of lifting humanity. Let us lift humanity in such a way that we are creating a path for those coming behind us. Humanity is out there, and some may at this point, while some may at this point. Don't forget to pour back down and serve strategically. We are one. And as we go through life, let us remember It is one love. It is one God. It is one world. It is unity. It is unity as we speak. As we speak together, it is not about the village people and their cooking, but it's about the mentality. It's about the mentality that we will have, that when we have this mentality, we will serve with humility. Thank you so much for tuning in to this question live show with who? Your host, Verona Willis-Brown. Go out there, serve with humility, because with humility and love, we could live and replenish the earth. The earth needs us. So let us be multiplied and replenish the earth. Thank you so much. I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Hopefully, as we move on into serving.